A very good morning, class 8. Today I am going to explain the chapter number 2, The Listener. It is written by Walter de la Mare. In this chapter, I will explain it to you about the story line by line. In the first stanza of this piece, the speaker, who does not play a physical role in this narrative, reports the speech of a traveler rather than acting as a character in this story. The speaker is a third person, semi omniscient narrator. He is able to look down on the action and report it back to the reader. The traveler is knocking on a door at night. The space is said to be lit by moonlight and filled with silence. These few describing phrases paint an immediate picture of the scene. A reader will be able to imagine the door, the sky, and the sound of the horse. As it champed the grasses, this sound would be deafening in the silence. The reader should feel the tense expectation of the traveler as he waits to see if someone will open the door. The noise of the horse hooves on the ground is emphasized by the fact that they are standing on the forest ferny floor. The environment they are in is covered in plants. This leads the reader to supposition that the traveler is not somewhere very industrialized. The landscape is primarily natural, as if hoping to prove this is the case. A bird is described as flying out of the turret. So far, the reader has only gotten a few details about the structure on which the traveler is knocking. It is out in the woods and it has a turret or tower. This leads one to believe that it is a large building or even a castle-like home. There is an overwhelming sense of mystery in these opening lines. This comes partially from the fact that the poem begins in medias or in the middle of the scene. There has been no introduction or explanation for what is occurring. The traveler describes that he will smote upon the door again. In this context, smote means to strike with force. He is not being tentative about his desire to gain entry into the building. Again, the traveler calls out, "Is there anybody there?" This proves that although the traveler might be confident enough to knock hard on the door, he is still unsure about whether or not there is actually anyone home. In the second set of the lines, the speaker describes how there is no one there to greet the traveler. He waits, but no one descends. In a line that proves that the abode is somewhere in the woods, the speaker states that no head from leaf fringed sill lean over. The window that the traveler would expect the resident of the home to appear in remain empty. There is still no sign that anyone is present inside the building or willing to let him in. A reader is also given the additional detail of the traveler's eye being grey. They portray his emotion well. He is now perplexed by his situation. Perhaps he had some reason to expect that there would be someone there. The traveler remains still standing where he is. He is still waiting expectantly, but there is nothing to be heard. The only other present are the phantom listener that dwells on the lone house. Then these lines make clear that the house is in fact empty. There is no one inside. Ignoring the travelers knocking and shouting, the section also emphasizes the solitary nature of the moment. The traveler is completely alone. Aside from the horse, no one can even hear his voice. At approximately the halfway point of his piece, the speaker returns to the image of the phantoms that he sees as being the only inhabitant of the house. They move through the empty hall and to take the stairs as any normal resident would. These ghostly images do not make an impact on their world. They are unable to respond to the traveler's call, although they can hear it. The air around them is stirred and shaken by the sound he makes. The narrative returns to the heart of the traveler. He suddenly feels strange, as if he knows there are phantoms inside who are listening to his words. It is the quiet of the house that answers his cry. This fact inspires him to try again. The speaker smote on the door once more, this time with more force. He makes his knocks louder after he lifts his head up to the window that was mentioned in a previous line and calls out. The word he speaks increases the mystery of the entire narrative. He asks that the presence he feels inside the house. Tell them I came. As would expect, there is no answer. He follows this up another phrase that I kept my word. There is no revelatory statement following up these odd words to explain the situation. This is both a negative and a positive. While one's personal curiosity will not be seated, one is able to craft any narrative that they want on top of de la Mare's. The final line of this section describes how the word he spake fell through the shadowiness of this still house. The sounds are reaching no one with the capacity to respond to them. They dissolve into the shadows. In the final four lines, the speaker returns to the phantom of phantoms who are listening. By the time the traveler leaves the front of the house, there is only one man left awake. The single listener took note of the traveler, foot upon the stirrup of his saddle. The phantom heard the passing of the silence as the man moved away until there was nothing. Reader of this piece are left to wonder what exactly happened. In the last 36 lines, there are a number of different interpretations which could be posed. Perhaps those who the speaker came to see have passed on and are now the phantoms watched silently inside. Those the traveler was seeking or out could have moved onto another location, leaving behind remnants of themselves or allowing other entities to take up residence there. Beyond these literal interpretation is a general theme of loneliness. The traveler is in a solitary state throughout the piece, and the forces inside the house represent loneliness is in their very being.